Thank you all so much for coming to this meeting today. In this meeting today, we're going to be discussing a few things, and it's all going to center around our company moving towards the digital era, specifically in our financial process. We're going to go through a few slides, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. The first thing that we would like to talk about is what exactly is the problem? What is it that is causing us to not enter the digital era? So our problem statement would be issues that are being caused by the rigorous process of handwritten financial statements. Being on this company for my 10th year now, I have been able to be on both ends of doing the financial process as well as receiving the financial process. Doing the financial process is all handwritten now, as you all know. When you do a handwritten process, there's kind of three things that stand out to me that I was finding myself on a personal note when I was doing these things. I believe that it's a very slow process. I believe that it is is held for extensive human error, and it's a big problem with time allocation. I myself was a business administrator at one of the locations, and with this I found that this financial process took I would nearly say about 80% of my time in my job. So this was holding me back from doing other things as HR issues that I might have had, or a lot of property issues that I had. So I do believe that this problem statement is centered around the handwritten financial process, and I do believe that is what is holding us back. Next, I would like to talk about our stakeholders in this financial process, this handwritten financial process. I believe the stakeholders are middle management, everybody at the locations, as well as middle management in the finance department are the ones actually doing the work, so as they are stakeholders in this financial process. I believe that the old employees who are doing this work are stakeholders, and then the new employees that are coming in are stakeholders, that they will be into the process and being acclimated to the old, or to the process that we have now, that hopefully will be the old process. Next, I have the finance department. They're the ones handling everything. They are the stakeholders in which I guess get impacted the most, as they will benefit from this the most, I do believe, and everybody will benefit, but I do believe that the finance department will benefit the most. My proposed solution for this issue of handwritten process, financial process, is we want to move all financial documents to a digital format. We want to move into a digital platform in which we will see massive benefits, including legible information. There was plenty of times of very bad handwriting. Some people say I should be a doctor, but illegible handwriting, I would get some financial statements and think, who the heck is that? How much is that amount? I wouldn't be able to read people's handwriting. So through a digital format, we take that completely out, right? We all can read emails as you're here. The accuracy of addition and subtraction of numbers. So after I completed all my handwritten statements, I would have to take a calculator, even in my head, just go through one by one and add everything by myself. Clearly, with the digital era, we can provide the platform that has all the spaces for each account, and we can add everything through a computer system rather than our human brains. Next is a much faster financial functions, things like paying vendors, things like registering accounts, things like we do a lot in the office is our payment of employees, even with time cards. Things like that will be much faster. There is a beta testing that we're doing now, and we can already see that around something that would have taken me about a 2-hour process, literally dwindled down into minutes now. Paying a third vendor, you register the vendor, put the amount, the date of the invoice, and it'll be paid by the next day. That whole process, which would take me hours to sift through vendors and find the right one, write the name down, it could have been wrong, sent back, is all done in a few short minutes now. So the next thing I'd like to talk about is the timeline of implementation of this process. Like I talked about, there's a beta process that we're going through, beta platform that we're going through, but really what I want to talk about now is really moving into the digital era, as there can be some pushback from some stakeholders. Our timeline for implementation, the change will start in October, and as you all know, that is when our fiscal year starts, and so we want a short time to bring it out a little bit, see what people think, let people get used to it. We don't want to come in and change it hard and people get flustered, and so I believe that the easiest way and the best way for implementation is through having 3 months of mandatory meetings. Once a month we would have a mandatory meeting for all middle management, location managers to come attend our training, and with this training we'll teach them how to use the digital platform, what it's used for, how it's used, things like that, and to take any questions from the cumulative group. I also do believe that it's a benefit for us that we have all of the location managers together, so they are going through the same thing, they're doing the same work, and one might have a tip that the other one might not know, and so having community through that, I do believe will benefit our implementation process. The next 3 months, I will have, we can do one-to-one training. So we would call each location, ask them how they're doing, what they need help with. If they need us to physically go to the location, we can offer that, as well as having e-visits, anything online, do some Skype sessions with them and show them how to do it. Whatever needs to happen for that person to fully understand the platform, the digital platform. Next, we will move, after those 6 months, we'll move into a hard stop of accepting anything handwritten. As of April, we will not accept anything handwritten. I do believe that by April, in those 6 months, we will have achieved every person being able to use the digital platform, as well as bought into the new digital platform, as it saves the stakeholders, some of the stakeholders, so much time, and it is significantly more efficient. After April, where you stop accepting handwritten forms, I do believe, to make sure everybody is on board solidly, we might be able to offer an incentive plan for individuals who have turned in all financial statements on the digital platform correctly and with no mistakes. So I think it's up to you guys. I'll talk to HR about it. If we can maybe put a day off in there if 100% of all items received in the 3 months were all perfect and on time. The next thing I want to talk about is our communication plan. Our communication plan, I do believe that is kind of a top-down series, making sure that everybody on the chain understands how this process is going to work. We can see that through email, that is kind of our company culture, that is how we all communicate. I do believe that is our best action to produce for the very first message to everyone. So I think we send a very clear, concise email to employees performing the financial documents. Let them know what's happening, let them know why it's happening, and then let's throw in a little how it's happening. Just everything clear, concise, to get people knowing what we're going to do and what we're going to move forward. I think the communication plan is, when anything's changing, when anything's moving, and people always, humans don't like change, so they're kind of drawn back by it. There's some people who here fill out the financial documents who've been doing it for over 50 years, so they are not gonna want to change. That's how they do it, and they've been doing it for years. So I think giving them a phone call, understanding how you can work with them specifically. There's a lot of things you can do on the platform, and so maybe you're going to have one individual that is only in charge of the financial documents that has to do with vendors, so maybe spending a little time with them on just that and showing them how much time they can save and how easy it is with the computer technology. You can produce more buy-in from that specific stakeholder. So with the email and then calling the individuals and speaking to them, I do believe you will understand their needs and opinions. So if we're talking to one individual and he says, you know what, I hate the color of the background, or you know what, maybe we can talk to somebody to change that, or maybe we can't. But finding little things that will will kind of go a long way for that specific stakeholder will be massively beneficial. The last thing is we're going to send weekly emails and tips about using the software. So you'll get an email that says, hey, if you want to just open up the software and it'll open automatically, you can sign in through your Microsoft Outlook account, or you can just click this link and it'll send you directly to this. Any tips and tricks that our computer science department, essentially our IT department, can do to help us out, we will be able to send that and pass that on. This will also have the employee a little more excited of what they can do, working the system. It's always having that information be put in their face on a weekly basis. So we don't want to teach them once and leave, and once a month and leave. If this information is being reoccurring in their face, I do believe that will be a benefit. And the more you do it, the better you are at things. So I think our communication plan would be massively effective if we send clear, concise emails at the very beginning, have a chat with them, really get to know what their issues are on a personal basis, and then once again, sending those weekly emails will be a massive benefit, just to make sure that the information is always kind of in the back of their mind, front of their mind, whichever one you want to call it, how you think. But yeah, that'd be great. The conclusion of this whole problem solution basis can be summed up in these words. I said, we need to move forward with this plan for all stakeholders and the success of the company. With a digital platform for financial forms, we will be able to run faster as well as be more efficient. We need this move. I do believe that we're being held back. Vendors are getting unhappy. They're leaving. Employees are complaining of how long this process is taking them and how they don't have time for anything else. I really truly believe that if we move into the digital era and meet almost every other business in the world, then we will absolutely become more efficient at what we do. And the motto of the Salvation Army is doing the most good. And I do believe that we will be doing the most good if we implement this plan. Thank you so much for coming to this meeting, and we'll take a vote next week to see what you guys think. Let me know if you have any opinions or any viewpoints that you'd like to share. Email me, call me. Once again, thank you so much. Take care.